Hello, everyone. I welcome you to this series of our lecture on GIS application in forestry. In our previous lecture, we looked at different types of spatial data, which we refer to as raster and vector. And we went extensively to discuss how data are captured in raster environments, which is pixel basis, and rows and columns, and how the attributes are captured. Then we also look at the point, line, and polygon, which are the methods that are captured in the vector GIS. Today, we are looking at, in this lecture, we are looking at the nature of attribute data. The attribute data, I said before, that we have two types of data in GIS, which are spatial data and attribute data. So we want to look at the models or representation or the way the attribute data are captured. So we have four major ways in which attribute data can be captured in GIS. We have four major scale of data types we can have in the attribute data representation. We have the nominal scale. Nominal scale describe labels or name that you attach to objects or places or things. So when we have the data captured in the nominal scale, it can be names, it can be labels that you attach to the spatial features, because attribute data actually describe or provide more information to the spatial data. Then you can also capture the data in ordinal scale. That is, you arrange objects into discrete classes with an inherent order. You can have level 1, level 2, level 3. Those level does not have mathematical meaning, but it just shows a form of ranking of your data set. You can have order of stream, you can have first order, second order, or third order stream, or you can have grade of road, or you can have level of income, or the density when you have urban density and high density, low density, medium density. These are arrangements according to the order or the kind of ranking of your data set. So you can capture data in ordinal scale in GIS. You can also have interval scale. You can have data that are in attribute data that are captured in interval scale. And this one arranges objects according to some values in a natural sequence, in which the distance between values are not logical or meaningful, but there are some form of distances. For instance, you can have temperature of 10 degrees centigrade and you can have temperature of 20 degrees centigrade. You cannot categorically say that 20 degrees centigrade is twice hot than the 10 degrees centigrade, but you can show that 20 degrees centigrade is higher than 10 degrees centigrade. So there are some form of values attached to them, but they do not have mathematical meaning. Then we have the ratio scale. The ratio scale arrange objects according to some values in a natural sequence, and they have mathematical meaning. Why the interval scale does not have mathematical meaning in the sequence? Because it does not have zero origin, but ratio scale has sequence. It has natural zero origin or the starting point, and it also has a mathematical meaning. So if you have 10,000 naira, you have 10,000 population of 10,000 people, and you have a population of 5,000 people, it is clear that the total population of 10,000 is twice the population of 5,000, because there can be zero population. So in this case, you have values that have quantitative meaning, and that is what is described in the attribute set of this. So when we are capturing data in the attribute, because we can have attribute for the raster data, we can have attribute for the vector data. But what we are saying that a complete GI data set must have two types, which are spatial data and attribute data. So these are the data that are very, very important that we use in GIS. Another thing we need to talk about in the GIS is data dictionary or metadata. This is very, very important to the GIS database development. Data dictionaries are documents that contain a key to data in the data set. Actually, metadata is referred to as data about data. It's referred to as data about data. It describes, it provides information about the data that you are showing. Usually, it is added as header file in some files. It is not included as GIS data. It will show the date of data creation, can describe or provide relevant details about that data, such as the date of the creation, the owner of the data or the custodian of the data source, where you got the data, how you capture the data. For instance, you produce a map from satellite image of 2024, and you name the date of the data used. So the source of the data, the currency, how current is the data, the status of the data, and then you can put disclaimer on the data if you cannot use the boundaries of the data for a legal proceeding. You can also provide such disclaimer on the data. For instance, you produce a map of the local government boundaries and you are not sure of the authenticity of the boundaries, especially if has not been properly surveyed. You can actually put some disclaimer on the map. The cost of potential purchasers in a normal national geodatabase infrastructure, you can actually provide how to access the data, whether it is freely available or you have to pay a fee before you can access the data. This is usually referred to as data dictionary, that is information about the data. It's also very critical, very crucial, because most maps are produced on a time band. They have a time frame of which a map is produced and which a map can be used. So uh, data dictionary is very, very critical. You need to provide information of the data, information about the data, the map preparer, the data collector, and then the sources of the data, or even the agency involved in creating the data or sponsor the data. These are very, very critical when you are developing a GIS database. Thank you for listening.